we enti onye de don fa Uber mrefi what you say on fa Uber nye de mrefi na oba obetua ka meanwhile ni kunu ti asem ni kunu abe Uber driver because we losing adwuma enti I am praying since Uber no obe order no enkoye ben man no oh my god can me do yeah to say Ebusianfo, welcome back to sethekow channel. Media na Ekow. In short, wetin me from Olu. Ebusianfo, yenya story bi a ye pese ye kenkan. Unlike the Endra, ye hu ye no lady no ko ware guy na later no finding out say guy no court no. Ebusianfo, first start our channel we so hit the subscribe button no, like the video no, na share. Mesere mo moa na channel no en grow. Aka a few subscribers near hit 15,000. Enti mesere mo. I mun share your videos no so Emma Fofro no almost share be den every. There are a lot of people benefiting behind closed doors. Among comment but likes no am for my yeah man say Ebusianfo you have a story we are didn't say my half dead husband nti enu ni we any story ya wo enne ayensaka pese ya kinkan eden e de kire mo Ebusianfo mama yanko story no so na yensua ade nya de mfremu ne pacho see NSC. I say dear young ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ekow. I am very ashamed to say this, but I have been cheating on my husband for many years, and this is right there in my broken pen. I say nidi di Ekow na ofa ni kunechi enti no say asem no de ba no ogina bibi se bibi su nti na ochiti oni kunu na meka say lack what accountability to the answer. I say it was on my 30th birthday it hit me that my biological clock is ticking. I had spent the last 7 years of my life shagging my boyfriend Frank with no sense of direction as to where our relationship was heading. I loved him with all my heart and still do till this very day, but I had to let him go. I had to move on with my life and needed to find myself a good and responsible man who was ready to settle down with me. That's when my husband came into the picture. Ebusianfo story ni na say lady ni say osi so we wasting the time ene na koma ene ni bibia no to abrante bia abrante no anye na adwene so be wa no say me betena na me ya analysis bi see ya man bi mpa because it's like me bie omoto e de kire mo de bia sa se me kwaso aka young girls no musisu a from the 18 eba besi ni 26 27 no ehho no me de giomani at the same period no share young girl bia na o ka che say o person ware na o be ka che say da bi osa onji na ni enwiye mistake no mo ye no it is some man no mo ni o mu twi so mo ni o mu di agro ni na no some man mema omo type of mema no mo pe no sa kind of guys no so ware omo sa kind of guys no so our options be brave into wono otoso be 20 and dem no and so that period and we share sa girl na ka chen say opeso one no ba ka just na I'm not interested and I'm young and I'm focusing on my career and I'm focusing on this, I'm focusing on that. And so anajibia I have 4 legs. Anajibia na 4 legs enemu. Anajibia ni ebu ni tugum. Anajibia na positions enwu hia na oye. Enti o share no hu say abrante na wasting time and odi 30 no. Eho no di konya ni kunu. So let's see. Say be prove and some na ya me betena beka na we shall see. Mama yen to aso. I said, my husband and I have been happily married for 5 good years. Until the 5 years and I can't age and I said 35. Great. With a beautiful 4-year-old daughter. Did I say happily? Well, it certainly isn't a happy one for me at the moment. I still have a deep feelings for Frank and do see him once in a while. When he be Oba we no or Alpha Widow. Do you know Alpha Widow? Alpha Widow you be a and also Oba. Only bema be atena. When your pleasure sa ni peni mu a bema na register no be gu ni trimu ama. Sa happiness no apart from sa guy no aye Frank no onya obi bia mfa sa happiness no ma no. And this is why we've been telling you say tena obebu ni yemu. Na bema ono be da first no enya bema oye ukunu but e ka kire mu amomfa. Modi de nioma papa ni na bema ma sebe nkwasiafo no. Mu wi asie no you expect bema bi to come with a long list. No be forma komu fie. Cheating na ye kan bi nie. Imagine say mpabo mienu ewo ho ewo shop baako nipa bebre ahye sampabo ano na ye ton am $100 and ewo fresh one I share box mentia no and so ye ton am $100 to you no ni mienu dey mfa na beto. Tell me they were mfa na beto ti asem ni ye entia no they give out the best to some kwasiafo when in the end no they want you. Eti nipa na ono aba be save no kra. You see what or the ye no. Ti asem ye breakdown analysis of story na aba beto ho no. Enye just story keke but me pese me the motion bibi free mu. Ye to aso. Aze, well, it certainly isn't a happy one for me. At the moment, I still have deep feelings for Frank and do see him once in a while. Whenever I get honey, this has been going on for the past 5 years. Though I am so ashamed to admit this echiwadie. Enti akwara no 4 years. Only guy so worry 5 years. Enti 5 years in nemu na worry and yes still fani kunechi o. Enti ha no me to be the sense in book say akwara ne yen de. Unless the next and I said the rest of the story and they proving me wrong. Ti asemini X no e de Frank or worry ni na echi no still out so e de ekwan X no ho. We e prove e Netflix series na fe no Sis Life no pepe and yeah better na your reaction. People think say we fabricate stories. No, we don't fabricate stories. You can't okra na de chiramo. You can't reality. You can't nyoma ekoso. And I'm telling you, I knew my ACC pepe and I said, me better na me de make the catch remo. And I me catch remo. Wawario and so find kunechi. And it's not only here. There are a lot of people doing this thing. I'm the young kunonom. Yet I'm on set about the back and because me better na me expose you more me can some I said exactly a year ago, my husband got laid off from work and spent a quarter of the year looking for a job. Luckily for us, he had invested very well in my clothing business, which was doing very well and sustaining the family. He then purchased a car and became a full-time Uber driver. My shameful story actually began when I told my a car befie. Etini na say omowale wie and years later na nikuno no edwuma na fie nsa what I say but nyansa na won say ebra na oye edwuma no na odi ne sika ehye oba na business a oye otonton eye ntare ne ti bema ni invest ewo mu what I say na afa na story na nkasa no eba be sha ase I see story in the aye hu kra ne say okache ni kunu say o tu kwan akwa Dubai. It also husband, I was traveling to Dubai for the weekend to get some clothes to restock my shop. Uncharacteristic of him, he drove me to the airport that Saturday morning. I insisted he drove me off at the entrance and told him not to bother coming in. I blew him a kiss and closed the door and walked to the entrance. I turned around while I watched him drive off. He had no idea my Dubai trip was actually a gateway weekend with my Frank. Oh my God. I waited for Frank's call for a little while, hence my delay at the airport. I finally got through to him. Hey, I'm sorry. I got caught up in what impromptu Zoom meeting. Kindly request an Uber to my place. I will pay. I am really sorry, he said. Enti wate, oba no aka chenu kunu say or ko Dubai akwafa nioma. I've been in Dubai before, so I know omo fa nioma ho pa. Yeah. Aka chenu kunu ni say omo kofa nioma we de Dubai. Enti de chen say onko si no airport na nemu no e mane enkoja ne mane wuremu. Say na strategy or chama be ma na ko na wa twen sa Frank no na one na kwakwa e de omkwakoye. Sa 1 week trip no or de kwakwaji neni. Jehovah me se emba bebre aware a eku no omo ne omo ho no omo ndo omo yusu omo for omo sika security baby odi ne tibeto. They are just using them omo ndo we say me betena ha na me break things down na ebi mbuofu because sa no me de omo kunu no ya to aso Ochene Frank no ntumi amba. Enti Frank no e friend say no why busy na oye Zoom meeting enti onye de onfa Uber mrefie. What you say? Onfa Uber nye de mrefie. Na oba obetua ka. Meanwhile ni kunu ti asem ni kunu abe Uber driver because we losing adwuma. Enti I am praying since Uber no obe order no enkoye ben man no. Oh my God, can me do? Yeah, to say. The next one. I got one just 5 minutes away. A rather familiar Toyota Vitz car number. Must probably be an Uber I have taken before. I thought, before I could think of checking the details of the driver, Frank called to follow up if I had managed to get an Uber, and I said yes. So my ride arrived, and out of excitement and anticipation, I put my things in the back seat of the car and picked a call from Frank while at it to update him again. As I sat in the back seat of the car, I realized the insides of the car looked quite familiar as well. Just you. I have a story with him. I'm telling you. Like I say, me general me make a story. I mean, I to say many movie I mention. Aha. The attorney say again or that Uber. Na Uber car ne buy one checking number no one checking bibia. Eti car ne be do ye na no de no ma gu car n'echi. Na okotena car ne mu no o frega na update ni say wonya Uber ni bi. But offer car no ne say car ne familiar. Car no familiar. I say car what ne mu pen. Yanto aso. As I sat in the back seat of the car, I realized the insides of the car looked quite familiar as well. I just got an Uber. I'm on my way to see you. I've missed you, I said to Frank on phone. But for about a minute, I realized the car was not moving. Owura car ni mu na okasa no. Okache ne ex ne say, "Oh, menya car ni bi ma fe odo ma sen no. Afi ohun se car na entuye, car na da so gina ho." They be a car say me chemu say, "Hey, who's your baby?" And oh, he is just a friend. He is just a friend. Brother, your research. Uboku about 90%. Sa branch ni diomo pen. Ana a branch or prepare in case say or no ntemu titia ana ujawa sa branch no beka kofa. A fact and I'm here to make a cheremo. Yanko the next one. So I put the phone down and I decided to prompt the driver to move. That was when I froze. The Uber driver was none other than my very own husband. Kabefie. He turned and looked at me with a teary eyes. How could you do this to me, Ekow? I was super shocked. I could not even cry, nor beg him. I could utter no words at all. He then turned and started the trip. Nobody said a word on our way. My mind was racing with thoughts the whole time. How do I do? Where is he taking me to? What is he going to do? I felt uneasy in the back. I finally gathered the courage to utter some words to him. I am sorry. He still did not say a word or give a reaction in any way. We got to our destination and he said as he looked. Ebusianfo, enti afidi or catch a driver and say me pacho young quiet trip na onkonkosha. Driver ni nyo bia say ono ankasa ni kunu. Yehowa. Afidi abrantia na start isu, ni kunu na start isu. Say Ekow bone ben na me di ayew. Bone ben na me di ayew. Girl ni ntumi wu say onkasa we sorry. Say ohun asama wonka. Enti omugu so na driver ne kwa na de ni kunu otu ko say Uber otu kwa na oba ni gada carriage catcher and say oh sorry but guy no fi no enti guy ni to car na kodu destination ho yenhwe asama ABC as into the mirror. I had want you to call the person you are visiting. I like to see him. At first I did not want to, but I later thought it was pointless covering up since I had already been caught. So I called Frank to come out, and he did immediately. The moment I stepped out of the vehicle to meet Frank at the gate, my husband stepped on the accelerator and sped off. I was left behind with a million questions in my head and 1,000 ounces of remorse. If it could be measured, I burst into uncontrollable tears as I explained everything that had happened to Frank. I gathered all the courage I could as I went home. So right now, no, omudu destination we ehono. Osi free mu a oyi ni nyoma. Konim se bia ne kunu no. Ebe pia ba na se de no. Abra okoko sha Frank no. Ene ne kunu ni ti a eye no so. Gia no so. Na vroom otukoye. Right now no atu ne ni sun ene areho. Ohun ade onye de onye. I say I burst into uncontrollable tears as I explained everything to Frank. I gathered all the courage I could as I went home. Okay, next one. That evening to face my husband, I got home to a dark house with all lights put out. I saw his car parked outside, so I certainly knew he was home. I finally found him sitting at the dining table with a candle in the middle and a glass of water in front of him. Don't put on the light, he said. Come have a seat. I want to ask you a question. I politely sat down and he said, this candle flame represents the spark in our marriage. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Before I put out the flame, I also have this glass of water, an undisclosed drug, and you and I both know who is going to drink it. I sat back in the chair, sweating like a fish. My end is here. There is it. He took a deep breath and said and asked, is Yolanda my daughter? As if I knew from beginning. Asama mekano. Oh my God. Beginning as if say me name story way. Rennie, thank you very much. Rennie has sent me 2 stories. Andrew anyway. Nino, the mommy, I don't read it. Me change. Say me reaction. Because say me kanya. Me be reaction a be fake. reaction in real time. Say making kind of sanity. I don't know. Enti lady ni ra dem on odu efie ho no na edu num kanye ni na but ohun se ni kunu ni car na esi wo ana owura dem on hu se ni kunu ne tena dining table so a candle esi nenimu ena nsuo so esi wo oba ni ya attempt to also can wase dey be ma no so can omra metena ase no misa no questions bi girl ne tena ase na ne ma sha ase hihye no because onim asema ni kunu ba bebisa no enti free be mana no a bebisa wasem candle esi ejina homa your relationship and I say a marriage no the status right now no and abia yedu no bibia edu no ena nsuo no so ejina homa question oba bebisa no question any say akwara na ye ne bag on 4 years no e fa no Yolanda no ne ba na me say I was say I do ye by force oh ye na was akwara no me checking here say akwara na ye oba I'm telling you I was say your money ye compulsory. I was say a compulsory. Yanko the next one also. I immediately started to burst out into tears. Answer me, woman. He screamed at me. No, she isn't. I said while crying. My lungs were out. I could immediately feel the tension in the room. I was ready to drink the glass of ewudrono and end my life, for I deserve to say mewu. He then said softly, I love you, Kia. I really did, right after he took the glass of water and drank it. I shouted and tried to stop him, but it was too late. He then put out the candle light and dropped to the floor. Unfortunately, I made it to the hospital, but late. The doctor came out of the emergency until looked at me and shook his head. What is it, doctor? Did my husband make it? He looked at me sterilely then. Abujanfo ayare hosem enti owura dem ma otena asiwe na nikunu bisa nse akwara na ene de oseda bi ehọ na no ge na start se osu na branch na fa glass no no meye ono me ya no free akonya no so eto fom na wuye enti oye smart no tamo no omo ya fa no ko hospital doctor ni pfie ye word no ba no doctor ni shaking it na oba ni bisa ne say na ni kunu survive ana yan share the doctor neka also your husband took an overdose of what combination of antidepressant drugs and it caused some serious damage to nargene and lungs. He will survive, but he will be half a wo for the rest of his life. This is my broken pen, and I'm living with this guilt for the rest of my life. Story, I don't know. From first minute I started to make and I see say me baby a story and Ekow. I knew me predicted say it does say a banner in dia. And I still or that's when the X no. Right now no I branch and no me say glass of unsuo ni wie no. Doctor ni pie ba no ka che ne say be man do be jankwa. But right now no eduro no no me no na adwena say. Obey to say tia say wuo no. Right now lady ne say o feel guilt. So or this side no aye ni kunu it's a story na ni ebusanfo. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. A lot of men my share nkwada nyomo there plus omoidenum effort omochi ade we yesi enye ono nko a me say mma bebre eduro na echemu a nka mo nkasa munim ete bia me ka chere say oh ye be man na akwa a je background check ansa na wo de wo ho akwa sha ade bi mu je background check because anko fo mu timo din your papa or but itimoden for no mo be ye wade ye wo ya 5 years ni na no ofani kunechi sa akwade free mu abakra no nye ne de. And how do you expect? They have no remorse until said omeye wade ye wo ya. I'm telling you, we are in Kobasa so back to an ex no simple, but right now we no and our story diaba. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Maybe I'm betting ha. Wow, share me from Titi. Share me reaction. It has always been the same message. And a marker because of what I have seen and what I have known. It's very, very dangerous to marry or bar still attached to an ex. Ube sunana. About 90%, they end back going to that kind of guys, and that kind of about all my happiness. It mean guys be a mumu. Not yesterday the bonny dio moi. Yes, still no, they are still with these kind of people. I had a mental for. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Ekowreaction. And if you really love my analysis and breakdown of the stories, hit the subscribe button, like your video, Thank you very much.